Alright, I binge watched season 4 of Cobra Kai, and though I like it a little bit more than season 3, it's still a thumbs down for me. I'm not feeling it. And it hasn't been out for that long, so if you have not watched it yet, then turn back now, because I will be dropping spoilers. Okay, at the end of season 3, we see both Daniel and Johnny combine their dojos, so Eagle Fang and Miyagi-Do, in a combined effort to get rid of Cobra Kai. And I gotta say, I really do not like this Cobra Kai being the bad guy thing, but I'll get to that later. The entire season is just every dojo preparing for the Old Valley tournament. Or at least it's supposed to be. Like, this is a very big issue with Cobra Kai. Like, I'm not a huge fan of the Karate Kid movies. Like, they weren't bad, but I wasn't really a big fan of them. But anyway, like, there was one fighter in Daniel Larusso, and you get to see him with Mr. Miyagi, and going through the whole training regimen that Miyagi has for him that he may not understand, but hey, you gotta crawl, walk, and then run, right? But in Cobra Kai, like, every fucking kid has karate. Everybody knows karate in this show. So you never really get to see them hone their skills and become better fighters and jump and overcome like obstacles and hurdles. You don't get to see any of this. You don't get to see any character development for them as fighters. They just become good fighters. In one episode they're recruited into Miyagi-Do or Cobra Kai or whatever. Next episode they're very good fighters. Like, we never got to see them do any of that. Like, watching Cobra Kai, I essentially feel the way Mordo did in Doctor Strange.
Too many sorcerers.
I mean, in season 1 of Cobra Kai, you got to see Miguel go through everything. He got thrown into a pool so he could learn how to kick. He was doing push-ups with his knuckles. He was learning how to kick, and he was getting his ass kicked trying to learn Cobra Kai karate. I mean, you even get to see Miguel fail because he joined Cobra Kai so that he could stand up to his bullies at school. And he does that. And the first time he does that, he fails. He gets jumped and he loses. He gets badly hurt, but he gets up, he hones his skills more, and then the second time, he wins. And then in Miyagi-Do in season 2, you got to see Robbie and Samantha kind of find their balance and move symmetrical, and you got to see them do all these things. You don't really see much of that anymore. It's just more, we know karate, and that's it. Like, you're going to join Cobra Kai, you're going to join Eagle Fang, you're going to join Miyagi-Do, and you're just going to know karate by the next episode. That's just the way it is. So this build-up towards the Old Valley tournament that's been set up since last season feels very insignificant because you have so many storylines going on in like a 30-minute episode, and like, they're not all necessary. Like, the whole Kenny and Anthony LaRusso thing, that could have been scrapped. Like, that was not important. I don't think anybody gave a fuck about that. They could have just scratched that off. Show would have been fine. And the most unnecessary one is the one between Daniel and Johnny. So Daniel and Johnny join forces. You know, they're burying the hatchet, building bridges because they've been carrying this like rivalry for so long. So they join forces and it looks cool, right? The problem is they don't know what the fuck they're doing. I mean, you would think because they have two completely different philosophies, they have different approaches when it comes to karate and life in general, they would have some sort of plan in order to teach these students. But they don't. They just join forces, bring everybody together to host a class, and they don't even know how to go about that. You'd think they would have worked all that out before they even tried to do that. I mean, not even just karate, just their differences in general. Like, how does that even work? I mean, it's common sense to me, because you have two completely different philosophies and two different approaches. If you're a basketball player or a football player, you're going to be taking lessons from other people. Multiple players, multiple coaches, and you're going to take all that and become whatever player you're going to be, right? So why couldn't they apply that to karate? This seems to be like some fucking mystery the entire season, and they don't figure it out until the very last episode, when Daniel goes to Johnny, hey, I need your help. Some of the stuff that you actually teach is useful. Maybe we can combine both philosophies, both styles, and help our students win. Gee, why didn't you fucking think of that 10 episodes ago? I mean, how fucking hard is that, man? You are two grown men. You were the head of your own dojos, and you passed all this wisdom, all these life lessons on to your students, but you can't fucking figure out this simple fucking thing. So, I mean, like, they're getting along a little bit more than they used to, but for the most part, it's more of the same. It's just them going back and forth with, I'm right, you're wrong, and continuing the cycle over and over. And I'm pretty sure, given the track record in Season 5, they're gonna do the same thing. And the whole Terry Silver and John Kreese thing, that was unnecessary too, because I know a lot of people are happy to see Terry Silver again because it's fan service. I mean, yeah, the way they developed him and the way he's a little bit different now and he's not trying to do the same things that he did before. but it's still unnecessary. I was fine with John Kreese coming in at the end of season 1 and then being there for season 2, but then he's still there in season 3 and he's still there in season 4. And then in this season, John Kreese decides to go get Terry Silver to team up with him for what? John Kreese has Cobra Kai, he has Robbie Keane, he has students that are willing to learn Miyagi-Do and Cobra Kai, and they're being led under one person with one philosophy, with one approach, right? So what purpose does Terry Silver serve? He doesn't have one, and Chosen doesn't have to be there either. I mean, it wasn't that bad seeing him one time in season 3 for nostalgic purposes and to see how much he's grown. That's why he's my favorite out of all these people that are coming back, because he's grown the most. But it was fine seeing him for one episode in one season. But now he's coming back and he's probably going to be a main character in season 5. And I'm pretty sure Terry Silver is going to bring back someone from the old movies like Mike Barnes or something. So it's just getting really, really repetitive. So I think the show would have been a lot better if none of this was in it, and it would have just focused on the main characters, their preparations towards the All Valley tournament, and the ins and outs of their lives. But the All Valley tournament was a problem in itself because, I mean, they added a skills competition the episode before the tournament began. So you don't even get to see any build up, any training for this fucking skills competition. So why is it even relevant? Why is it even part of the show? Like, they could have scrapped that off and focused more on the fighting that people want to see. So there are 2 episodes dedicated towards the All Valley tournament, and a huge chunk of the first episode is focused on the skills competition that's completely unnecessary. And when Miguel finally fights, he gets hurt immediately before he does much of anything, and then doesn't even fight again. Like, so the main character who's been there since season 1 doesn't even fight in this All Valley tournament that we've been waiting for since the previous season. That's fucking stupid. So we get to see Dimitri versus Robbie Keane, but we don't get to see Miguel. I mean, the only part of the tournament that I actually enjoyed was Hawk versus Robbie. That was the best fight of the entire series, like no competition whatsoever. It was very entertaining, it was very well choreographed. I loved it, but other than that, I did not like this tournament at all. And the last thing that I want to mention, and there's probably more, but I haven't slept in like a day. So like the last thing I want to mention is Samantha Larusso. Like, she is the most annoying character on this show. Hell, she's the worst character on this show. Like, every single thing that seems to be wrong always leads back to her in some way. Like, all this shit between her and Tori started with her. She's the one that started everything. This rivalry between Robbie and Miguel, she started that too. Dimitri getting his arm broken, that was her fault too. And she always wants to be treated with respect, she always wants to be taken seriously, but she constantly proves she's an idiot. She goes to see her friend Aisha to seek advice, and Aisha tells her that she took the lessons from Cobra Kai and applied it to real life. She attacked her problems head on, and rather than waiting to see if she was going to be bullied, she befriended the person she thought was going to bully her, and bam, now there's no problem. And what did Samantha take from that? Let me go to Tori and provoke a fight. She tries to act like she's better than Tori, but she's not. Like, all this is her fault, and this entire season she's been provoking and instigating. She's been provoking Tori this entire season. Even when Tori tells her she's not trying to fight, she's still provoking her. So yeah, this series is no longer what it once was. Like, when I first started watching this show, like, it was Cobra Kai. Like, it was essentially the Karate Kid from the Cobra Kai point of view. Like, they're not bad guys, they're just a different philosophy of karate, right? And we get to see how these students take these philosophies, take these teachings from Cobra Kai and apply it to real life. Like, not fighting, just their real life. But now Cobra Kai is the bad guy, so we got a show called Cobra Kai, and it's not even about Cobra Kai. Like, it's just stupid. It wasn't all bad though. Like, the scene where Johnny's training to fight Daniel, like, that was pretty funny. He was just being an asshole to everybody, and Robbie telling Samantha that she's not getting what she wants, that was hilarious. And him telling, I think it was Daniel, yeah, him telling Daniel that it doesn't matter what style you use as long as it works. And like, facts, like, why couldn't Daniel and Johnny figure that out? Like, why is that so hard to understand? But I mean, Robbie figures it out, and I don't even like Robbie. Robbie, by the end of the season, he realizes his mistakes and that everything he's been doing, it's not going to fix anything, and you can blame this guy or that guy, that's not going to fix your issues. So I really appreciated that from his character. So like, yeah, it's not all bad. And Tori's a great character too. She's a far more compelling character than Sam is. And again, I don't like that Terry Silver is here, but given that he is here, I like that he isn't as like one-dimensional as he was in the Karate Kid Part 3. Like there's another side to his character. I love that he doesn't just initially go with John Kreese's plan because he thinks everything they did in the Karate Kid Part 3 was insane. Like he's a grown-ass man over here trying to terrorize a teenager over a high school tournament. It's just ridiculous. So I love that aspect of his character, but then he goes back to his old ways, which is also stupid. But he doesn't try to do things the same way because, like, insanity is trying to do the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. And he realizes this and he wants to do things differently. Karate is just a part of who he is, and Cobra Kai is just a part of who he is. But John Kreese, being the manipulative piece of shit that he's always been, keeps trying to hold over, oh, I saved you in Nam, where would you be without me kind of bullshit. It's like that person who's always saying, remember when I gave you 20 bucks? Remember when I gave you a lift to the airport? He just keeps holding that over his head the entire season. And by the end of the season, he figured out, you know what? My weakness is you. Like, how many times do I have to repay that debt to you? And he's 100% right. And I love that. And now Terry Silver got rid of John Kreese, thus shedding his weakness. Very similar to the way a snake sheds its skin, he is now growing. He sees things very clearly. John Kreese is going to hold that like nom crap over his head his entire life. So now he's gone and he can do things the way he wants to do it, not the way John Kreese wants to. But yeah, this isn't entirely bad. In fact, this is probably the best season since season 1. But overall, I don't like it. It's just not what I thought it was going to be. It's not what it once was. And some people may be into the whole Rumble fights and fights breaking out every 5 seconds and all that, but like I'm not. Like, this is just ridiculous at this point. And yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. I could probably go on longer, but like I said, I haven't slept in like more than a day, so I'm exhausted. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comment section. If you like this season or if you like the series in general, if you agree with me, go ahead and hit that like button, and it does help me a lot. Subscribe if you have not already, and I will catch you in the next video next Friday. See you then. Bye bye.